It's been called by some the cruel sport. By others, a new art form. This is a record of one season of championship motor racing. One proud campaign in the sun. The 1970 Trans-Am Championship will be decided here in Kent, Washington on this September 20th, the 10th violent Sunday in a long, long summer. Some of the top names in the racing world are here to put their reputations on the line. Parnelli Jones and George Fulmer, tough, experienced Mustang pilots. Mark Donohue, Trans-Am champion last year in a Camaro, and Roger Penske, team captain, are out to do it again with two brand new Sunoco Javelins. Talented young Peter Revson will back up Donohue. All-American driver Dan Gurney heads up the Barracuda team. Experienced veterans and strong young newcomers, here to challenge for the Trans-Am crown. Parnelli Jones in his school bus yellow Mustang jumps into the lead. Mark Donohue in an American Motors red, white, and blue Javelin, and George Fulmer in another Mustang follow. They dice for 40 laps. Peter Revson, starting far back, threads his way through the pack, only to be nudged out of the race by Sam Posey. 90 laps over the kinky 1.9-mile track. Jones pushes on, never very far ahead, but Donohue can't close the gap. 1 hour, 52 minutes, 36 seconds, and Mustang draws the first blood of the new season. It's Mustang first, Javelin second, another Mustang third, and Barracuda fourth. Penske and Donohue aren't used to running second. It's Rufus Parnelli Jones who tastes victory number one. May 9th, Lime Rock, Connecticut. Dan Gurney's Barracuda and Mark Donohue's Javelin sit in the coveted front row. Parnelli Jones powers through to take an early lead. The Javelin, Barracuda, and Camaro press behind. A spin out, but the leaders roar on. At 46 laps, Peter Revson's engine fails. 4 laps later, Donohue makes his move. But on the next lap, the Mustang passes alone. A blown oil gasket has finished the race for the second Javelin. For the next hour, Parnelli Jones strokes it. He has brake problems, but coasts home for win number 2 ahead of Ed Leslie's Camaro and Sam Posey's Challenger. 2 races into the new season, and it's Mustang clearly ahead on points, with Camaro and Javelin in that order. The weeks pass. Roger Penske and Mark Donohue are professionals. They have real questions about the season ahead. What's the oil pressure problem? Where will the extra horsepower come from? The team redoubles its efforts, searching for a scant 1/10 of a second a lap. Penske Racing has a very determined leader. 3 weeks later, the third race. Briar, New Hampshire, and 15,000 fans turn out to cheer on the 25 qualifiers lined up on the grid. Savage sets a blistering pace in the first laps, tracked by the Mustang, Camaro, and Javelin. At 33 laps, Savage cooks his engine and limps in. The leaders seesaw for the next 15 minutes. Halfway through the race, and near tragic, fire in one of the Camaro pits. Driver Guy Roy is led to safety. The front runners charge on. It's still anybody's race. George Fulmer in the second Mustang pushes all the way to the lead. He holds it to win, scant seconds ahead of Revson and Donohue in Javelins. The early Mustang victories are no surprise to veteran John Timanis.
Well, the series actually started off pretty well the way we expected it to, because with Ford winning the first group of races, because they have the most experience with the automobile they're running. It's a team that's been in existence for 3 or 4 years. They've been running the same automobile for 2 years. They've got it pretty well under control.
June 7th, that Ford's lead time and experience continue to pay off at Mid-Ohio. The Mustangs are still running strong. Jones and Fulmer blister the track to finish 1-2. The fourth loss is etched in Mark Donohue's face. That he cares very much is very apparent. June 21st, race day at Bridgehampton. 13,000 racing buffs turn out to celebrate a summer afternoon. They're off, and Jones elbows through to dice with Savage through the first lap. Savage pushes the Barracuda faster. And still faster. Then a blown engine, and Savage takes a long, dejected walk home. Now it's between Jones and Donohue. A split second picked up. Closer. And now, finally, the red, white, and blue Javelin flashes ahead. For the first time this season, Donohue smells victory. Rain. A sudden summer storm. But the fans aren't leaving now. The track slicks up, but Donohue rooster tails on. 2 laps to go. The final turn. And a long-awaited checkered flag. George Fulmer, fierce competitor a few seconds earlier, waves a friendly salute on the victory lap.
Mark, you've won quite a few races, but I know this one is very important. Not only did you snap the Mustang string at 4 races, but bringing home Javelin's first victory in the Trans-Am Series must really be a thrill for you.
Oh, we're happy. I'm happier actually for my crew and for American Motors, who both have tried extremely hard to do well in the Trans-Am, and we've got all the right ingredients. It's just a question of getting our details sorted out, and I don't say that we have them all sorted out yet, but we're certainly making progress, and this will be the best thing that ever happened to my crew at Penske Racing and also at American Motors.
The flag drops and the Mustangs grab the lead. Hard-charging Fulmer takes over as Parnelli retires with electrical trouble. Javelin is off the pace with engine trouble. Fulmer, his foot into it, tries to close up, loses it. On the final lap, the crowd comes to its feet. Mintner, taking the short way home, leaves Fulmer an angry second. Camaro earns its first win. Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, May 19th. The 7th Trans-Am race coming up. Jones and Fulmer. Savage and Leslie. Posey and Donohue. Donohue pulls to third behind Posey and Jones. Savage is coming on fast. The lead changes 3 times in the first 33 laps. Then 1 hour, 10 minutes through the race. Donohue closes the gap and stays in front for good. The checkered flag, a second win, and things are looking up for Team Javelin. 2 weeks later, Saint-Jovite, Quebec. The 2 hours and 10 minutes of Saint-Jovite begins under lead-gray skies. Jones, Donohue, Fulmer, Leslie, Savage, Posey, Revson. The race is on. After only 14 laps, the Javelin pits unexpectedly, but it is a part of the Penske plan. Pit early and drive the late laps with a lighter gas load. On lap 28, Mark takes the lead as the others pit. For the next hour and 14 minutes, Javelin shows tailpipes to the field. The third win is decisive. The Penske racing team is coming on strong. Watkins Glen and the fans are 30,000 strong. The battle between Mustang and Javelin is no small part of the attraction. Evenly matched, 15 and 6 stay together for almost 45 minutes, and then the rains came. The treacherous, glassy track takes its toll. Craig Fisher, Paul Jett, Warren Ager, Milt Mintner, even Parnelli Jones is not immune. When the checkered flag drops, Vic Elford is winner. 9 seconds back, Donohue skates home for second. And so, the climax is postponed. There is no decision between Javelin and the Mustangs. The championship will be decided here in the 10th race at Kent, Washington. At the 10th lap, only 2 seconds separate the Mustang and Javelin. On the 18th, it's Donohue ahead. Then Jones. Donohue again leads through lap 56. Jones again takes it. He holds on to win by 19 seconds. The season's duel is finished. Mustang, a runaway early leader, was almost caught by the determined red, white, and blue team. But today, Mustang wins it all. It's been a long, hard-fought campaign for Parnelli Jones. The Mustang crew's 3-year quest for the championship is over. A season of thrills, victory, defeat, and determination. In the best tradition of motor racing, Trans-Am 7.